What's up, everybody? Brian here with another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about why have we not gone up, why are we trading sideways, and why do we keep having little dips of, let's say, $5,000 to $7,000. I do know that I did say we were going to be going up by the beginning of December. We were supposed to have an explosive beginning of December. We really were. If you guys actually look at the charts, we were late recently in the past couple of months of what was supposed to be happening, but everything has been on track. But now we are very, very late. And I think I have the reason why, and I think I have an idea of what's going to happen in the future. I don't want to say for sure. This is purely speculation. But as far as me saying that we were supposed to go up significantly in the beginning of the month and even following that, I'm going to tell you where I basically got that information. And it's not just from one person. There's actually different ways that I got this information. But I'm going to start with some of the people who did say the same thing, and then I'm going to go into my own opinion on why I formed that opinion after I heard these things from other places. So if you look at Plan B, if you look at Tika Tawari, Bull Poly, you look at Raul Paul, you look at any of these major players in the industry, realistically, guys, they were all expecting a massive run up at the beginning of December. I know this because I have access to different information, different places. Plan B, that's obviously all over the internet, but some of these things are paid and I do have access. Realistically, guys, I do want to say that because I have this access, I'm able to see different things, but I don't just listen to what people say. If you go back and you actually look at the charts and the data, look at what I said about things following to be a little bit late. I said roughly about 10 days, I think, on the 4th of December. And then if you look at about 9 or 10 days after the 4th of December, go look at a lot of these people's YouTube channels. People started saying, oh, look, we have a double green candle. We've only seen a handful of these in the past couple of years, blah, blah, blah. Realistically, we were supposed to go up at that time. That's why all the YouTube channels started saying, we're about to explode, we're about to explode. If you notice, that was probably last Sunday, maybe Monday, people started posting these videos about us going up. And that's when we were really supposed to go up, but we didn't. And it's because of price suppression. Okay. If you listen to any of these analysts, even if you listen to, let's just say, Raul Paul or Plan B, Bo Polney, any of these guys, they're all saying the same thing, that there's pure price manipulation happening right now. And we were supposed to go up. Go and look at what they were saying before and what they're saying now is that it's just price manipulation. They don't want you guys to win. We're supposed to have exploded already. What I think is going to happen is I think that we are going to have a massive run up, but I think it's going to be very short lived. I think that it's only going to be a few days to maybe a week. So instead of us having a whole long month long run up, I think it will only be a couple days to maybe a week long. Then we're going to have maybe a few weeks of red, followed by maybe another few days to a week of green before we do have an absolutely massive crash in the new year. Very likely in the first quarter of the new year. It's common sense, realistically, guys, that after you have a massive run up, you come down, okay? But there's major world events that are going to be happening that could affect the markets and drop that significantly. And if it's taught us anything, these new big investors, these banks and these new billionaires that are getting in, they want to get in at the floor prices. They basically already missed Bitcoin, guys. So realistically, they want to get in at the floor prices. So if we're already going to have a crash, it's common that after you have this 4-year cycle, there's obviously a big crash. You only go up and then you go back down. It's common sense. But there's going to be major events that happen that also contribute to that as well. Okay, so realistically, I'm going to go into that in another video. This does have to do with world events that are going to be contributing to how bad this crash is going to be. It's not just going to be the normal crash of when everything happens and everything goes up. We're just going to go down like normal after a 4-year cycle. I do believe that the 4-year cycle is going to be over. I think that that's basically completely done. Now that these new big investors are in, realistically, they're not going to want to wait 4 years to get their money. I think that we are going to have shorter cycles, but we are going to have longer months in the red with shorter times of green, whether it's a few days to maybe a week long. I don't think that we're going to be seeing month-long green markets anymore like I was hoping and or expecting at certain times. But I do think that we are not going to have to wait 4 years anymore to see major rallies. I think that we're going to see them more often, just shorter lived. Realistically, that's what it seems like to me. Realistically, guys, if you guys really just take a look at the markets and the way that things have shifted, I think that we are still relatively on track. If you look at the charts, everything is still looking very bullish, and it's very weird that we haven't went up, but I don't think it's weird. If you look at what's actually happening, it's primarily because of people manipulating the markets. If you look at analysts and even Altcoin Daily and some of these other big channels, they're talking about the way that we're going down. It's not natural. It's not natural. It's happening because of manipulation. So realistically, guys, I think that we are going to have a massive run up still. I think that we are still going to have a really great December, but it really depends. Like, are they going to run us up to 70, 80, $90,000, bring us down and then bring us back up? Or is that going to be it when we get to 70, 80, 90, maybe even $100,000? And then that's going to be it. We're not going to go back up. And then, like common, if you go look at the charts, this has happened many times. After Bitcoin tops out, you'll see the altcoins top out a few weeks later. So that may also happen as well. I don't want to say for sure anymore, although I was absolutely incredibly sure that we were going to be running up. Now with this new manipulation and these market cycles about to be ending, I do believe that we are in uncharted territory, so we can't say for sure. But if, and that's if, we can stay close to the market cycles, and not exactly, but close, whether you're a few days to a few weeks off, is it really a big deal if you're a couple weeks to a month off and you know that there's about to be a massive run up and you just have to hold on for an extra few weeks to a month? Is that the end of the world if you could still semi predict when it's about to happen and still make your money, pull out at certain times, dollar cost average? Obviously, you have to be careful when you pull out because you don't know if it's going to be a fake out and then keep running up, because as you see on the way up, you do have 30 to 40% corrections very commonly on the way up in a bull cycle. So that's also very common. So you don't know really when to put in and put out. A lot of the big players like Cathie Wood and Raoul Pal and people like that, they're long-term investors. Some are 10, Michael Saylor, some are 10-year investors. I think like Michael Saylor, Cathie Wood, I think has a 5-year plan. I forgot what Raoul Pal's is, but a lot of these guys, they have long-term investments. They're not sitting here pulling out in and out of their money. I'm not saying that they never pull any money out or put any extra money in, but I'm just saying they're not playing in the markets like that. They have longer term vision. So realistically, guys, that's what I think that would be the best strategy for somebody who doesn't want to sit there and play games. Just wait until you have like, okay, I'm going to wait until Bitcoin's at 200K or 500K, then I'm going to pull out. Have a plan more like that if you're not going to be getting this back end information or understanding charts or understanding cycles and how they actually work when things are going up. Basically, like I'm explaining to you right now, I'm giving you guys good information on how we do consistently pull back 30 to 40% on the way up. Look at the charts. It's just common sense. If you guys look at how we do have a crash every time Bitcoin tops out, obviously, where's it going to go? It's not going to go up forever. It's got to come down. If you look at all of these things that I'm telling you about, even about the altcoins usually topping out after Bitcoin, this is common knowledge if you just go look at the charts. This isn't just somebody says something, just go look at what's happening and understand the cycles and how things happen. But like I said, things may be changing. So you don't want to always count on that. So although, guys, I have technically been wrong about the exact dates, if we do end up having a massive run up in December, like I was still saying, whether it was in the first half of December or the second half of December or in the middle of January, whatever it is, realistically, I don't think it's going to be extending anything past January. I do know that we're going to have an absolutely massive crash, likely in the first to second quarter at the latest, probably in the first. What I do think is going to happen is that when we do top out, we will end up seeing a maybe some altcoins after still pop, but then we obviously are going to end up going back down, having a massive drop. It's going to make it seem like that was the drop, and then it's going to drop even more. But I think that not only are we going to have the usual drop, the drops have gotten slightly less over time, but realistically, with what's about to happen with these major world events, I think that it could be a really big deal that's going to make it absolutely crash. Stock markets, housing, crypto, and that's going to be terrible for people around the world, not just for the crypto market. You got China ready to invade Taiwan. You have Russia ready to invade Ukraine. Russia and China partnering together, so maybe they could do it at the same time and be more effective and have the US's hands full. Biden's mandate on the 4th could really affect our whole United States, and that could be a big thing that happens. And then we have several other things that I'm not going to get into. I actually have a list of things that could cause crypto to crash even more than it would just on its own, on its cycle of being topped out and then going down. Okay, so there's a lot that I'm looking at realistically, guys. So yes, was I wrong about the very beginning of December? Sure, but so was all of those other people that I mentioned that are way bigger players than me, have way more time and experience, and then they have a lot of analysts looking at this stuff. They were all wrong too. But I don't really consider any of us wrong if we do end up going up anytime in the second half of December. I think that, yeah, we were wrong on the date, but overall we were just off on what was actually going to happen. That if you look, it's not just somebody saying something. You actually have to go look at the data. Does the data back up what people are saying? Anything that anybody tells you anywhere, unless they made the crypto themselves, they're getting it from somewhere. They're getting this information from somewhere. Everybody gets the information from somewhere. But it's up to you to actually go and understand what they're telling you and then go verify it in different places, whether it be the charts or other ways as well, looking at past history and stuff of that nature. It's up to you to verify it. So just know you can't just listen to what one person says. You really have to make sure that you understand what somebody's saying and then you go verify the information. But I'm not so much going to be giving you guys advice on after this dip. I'm telling you guys when I think it's going to happen. I'm not going to be giving you guys too much advice in the future on where I think the markets are going to go. I already said what I think is going to happen as far as the markets. I'm not going to repeat myself because I already said it, but I did explain where I think we're going to go. I even told you when I think we're going to have the crash, and that's going to be basically it overall for me giving you guys big predictions on when that's going to happen. I'm actually going to keep that stuff to myself, primarily because a lot of people get really salty when things are late. I have a ton of people texting me, Facebook messaging me, calling me, asking me like I'm their financial consultant when I was just trying to help you guys out. It's way too much to constantly be talking to everybody and then people get upset when we're a little bit late. Realistically, if you look at some of my past predictions, I would say a good 70% at this point have been right. I've been wrong a couple times this month about dates, so that's why it's went down probably from 80 to 90% to probably about 70%. But overall, I have been able to predict quite a bit of things, whether you have been watching or not. But realistically, guys, I'm not going to keep doing that only because people get very upset when it comes to money. And I don't want to get you guys in that position. So what I'm going to end up doing is giving you guys projects that I think are good, giving you guys my fundamentals on what I think are good fundamentals to look at, and giving you guys good rundowns of the coins. But I'm also going to be giving you guys tutorials in 2022 as well, how to use different apps like Coinbase, Crypto.com, KuCoin, stuff like that, how to buy certain coins. Maybe I'll go into different projects that I think you can earn good money on in gaming. Maybe if I can get down yield farming, I'll give you guys some info on that. But overall, I'm not going to be giving you guys too many more predictions on the markets, only because I do believe we are about to enter uncharted territory, and the new players that are involved, I do think are going to be manipulating the markets extremely heavily. So even if we did have a cycle and a pattern that we were following, which we definitely did, because if I'm not going to go into it. Maybe I actually will make a video and pull back all my predictions on previous videos and things that I have online and show you the dates and stuff of that actually happened, that played out. But I'll also show you the times that I was off as well. I'm not perfect all the time, and I'm not sitting here telling you that I am. Nobody's perfect. Nobody knows 100%. But overall, I think that you can predict the market. It has been proven because we've been right about a lot of things, but there obviously have been some things that we've been wrong about, but so has major people in the industry as well. So do I feel stupid? No, only because I feel that we're more late than wrong overall. Wrong would be not happening. I would feel that we were off about the timing overall. So am I upset? No. Honestly, I look at this as a way better opportunity instead of us just having a big run up for a month and then waiting 4 years. At least now, even though it's going to be longer red, I think that we're going to have more time to buy in. Just you got to understand the prices to buy in at, because if it's down 30% and it's going to drop another 40 or 50%, that's not when you obviously want to buy in. So you're going to want to look at that information as well and not just buy in the red just because. So there is a lot that's happening. I will talk about a couple things that are supposed to be happening. The Ethereum halving is not obviously, I don't think, happening anytime soon. I think that's going to be spread out through next year. Bitcoin's total supply is basically mined. About 90% of Bitcoin supply is mined, and they're supposed to be not putting any more new Bitcoin out, primarily because big banks and people like that are basically funding these miners. So these miners that mine the new Bitcoin don't have to sell their new Bitcoin to be able to buy new machines and basically move their equipment to bigger spaces and blah, blah, blah. So they're not going to be selling their Bitcoin, which is going to cause a massive supply shock. Ethereum 2.0 is going to come out. They're going to cut Ethereum supply. plus several other things that are big that are going to be happening with Ethereum next year. And there's news that Grayscale is going to get the first spot ETF for Bitcoin. So realistically, guys, all of that's supposed to be happening next year. Plus, I have some really big news on a couple meme coins that it kills me to say. I'll be making a different video, but it genuinely hurts me to say that these projects actually may explode, considering I have talked crap about them. At the time, guys, I was 100% right where they were at the time, but with what they're doing to them now, it could make them absolutely massive, incredible plays if they do what they say they're going to do. So I will be making a video on that. But realistically, guys, we are in such an incredible time where we are all going to have ungodly, unfathomable amounts of money. And I am super excited. I'm actually happy for what I think is going to be the new cycles of 4-year cycles being over. We are going to have longer times of red, as far as instead of being a whole month of green or 1 week of red and 3 weeks of green, I think it's going to be the opposite. We'll get maybe a few days to a week of green throughout the month, maybe 10 days. And then it's going to be primarily red for a month or a couple months. And then we'll have another run up. So I actually prefer that, because you'll be able to get gains more often, and you'll be able to buy in at a lower price more often as well and get gains more often. But you also have to understand, guys, I don't want to make this video too long, but the last thing that I'll leave on is it's not just what you're seeing now. There's whole ecosystems around cryptocurrency being built. It's not like just Bitcoin and Ethereum. You have to understand. Now we have ETFs, you have social tokens, you have DeFi, gaming tokens, you have all of these different worlds, that metaverse and this and that. You have all these different worlds of coins being built. And then back in the day, we had AOL and Yahoo Search and all this stuff, but now we have like Google and Gmail and stuff like that. So we are going to keep improving. There's going to be, like they have the Dogecoin killer, we're going to have Ethereum killers, and we're going to have Bitcoin killers and all this other stuff. So we're so early that the amount of money that we're going to make in the metaverse and in gaming and all of these other things, it's literally going to be ungodly if you're doing the research, you're understanding the charts, you're looking at these top players. What are they doing? What are they buying? Are they actually just saying something and then doing something else behind the scenes? So these are all things that you're going to want to really look at when investing in cryptocurrency. So do I feel dumb about being a little bit late? No, not at all, to be honest with you. But do I still think we're going to be having a massive run up this month? Absolutely. But I think it's just going to be very short lived. I think that it's going to be just long enough to get people to FOMO back in, and then it's going to crash you guys. Then you're going to sell, lose a lot of money. Then we may have another small or decent sized run up for maybe a few days to a week, maybe a little while, a couple weeks after Bitcoin, maybe in January, and then probably an absolutely massive crash that's going to fake you guys out. It's going to drop. You're going to think that was it, and it's just going to drop even more. So I would be careful about that. But I would also be careful about selling everything, because if you sell everything, guys, and something pumps during the bear market, while we do have, whether it's a couple month or 3 month bear market, whatever it is, realistically, guys, you will miss out heavily. Imagine if you could get a coin at $1 and you're afraid because it went from $5 down to like 50 cents and you wanted to sell or whatever the case may be. But while we're in the bear market, that coin just pumps to $100 and you could have had it. $1,000 brought you 100,000, but you sold because you were scared and you missed it. There are certain coins that you may not want to sell during this upcoming bear market, primarily for that reason. I'm not going to tell you what to do and what those coins are. I do have a good idea of what they are and what I will personally not be selling, even when I do know we are going to have an absolutely massive crash, primarily because these are coins that I really, really fundamentally believe in their future and their team and their utility. And that's why there's some coins that I just won't even be selling. And if I do sell any of it, it'll probably be maybe like 30%. And that's only just to buy back in if it does dip a bit before shooting off. So I could be wrong about some of the coins. They may not shoot off during the bear market, but they're coins that I won't even take the chance on because I believe so strongly in what they do, who they are, where they're going to end up going, the teams behind them. There's different ways that I look at it, much different than what most people do. So realistically, guys, I'm still very bullish, as you see, on December, whether it's only a few days we have or a good week that we have. We still got 2 full weeks in December left, guys. So I'm not really that worried about it. But I will say that although we were late, it doesn't mean that we were necessarily wrong about the entire thing. Take what I say and go do your own research. But I did want to make this video because it has been more than the 10 days that I predicted. So yes, I was off, but I don't think that I was completely wrong. So I guess only time will tell this month, but I hope you guys have a great Christmas. If I don't make a video before then, I probably will make at least one more video before then. As I've told you guys, I don't take this channel super seriously right now because I'm more focused on work, but next year I will be releasing a lot more videos, primarily about coins that I like, different markets, and then tutorials showing you guys how to do different things. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, share this video with somebody, and I will see you in the next video.